You can do the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
intro.
yeah. I see you. We are online, Mark.
Are we?
Good morning, Art Matters New York. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I think we have a very, very interesting paintings to look at, artwork, right, Mark?
Yes.
Hey.
We're gonna look at a few paintings by Cy Bode, a painting by Marie, and then we're going to see a number of things by Mathieu Cherkit, I believe. This is a new name for me. I don't know it. That was brought to our attention by Linda. And so we'll take a look at all those things today. And if we have time for more, I was on my way home from New York this few days ago. I happened to drive by Magazzino. Have any of you heard of Magazzino?
Mm-mm.
It's really quite formidable. It's remarkable. It's an institution. It's a beautiful museum and a museum in every respect. Huge, brand new, beautiful building, and
Mhm.
it is dedicated to Arte Povera. So
Ah,
it's the largest collection of Arte Povera outside of Italy.
and that's in
It's in
Kingston, or
Cold Spring. It's
Cold
in
Spring.
Cold Spring,
Ah,
New York. And if any of you are in the area or you're looking for just a day trip out of New York, it's really phenomenal. It's a gorgeous, as I said, new contemporary building, that's world class, with a huge collection of, all of the major artists from that period, the 60s, I guess, and I guess into the early 70s of that movement,
great.
which was sort of contemporaneous with, Fluxus here in New York and other, yeah, and 60s painterly interests. So there's a lot of crossover, but I mean, it's distinctly Italian, and it's definitely worth a visit. So if we have time, we'll look at that too. Okay. And if not, we'll do it next week. Okay.
Mm.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to share the screen. Well, and let's see. Okay.
Yes.
So I thought this was a good way to start because it's so vibrant and vital and so much to look at here. This is by Sai,
Mhm.
and this is one of three works that she sent. Sai, when did you do this?
Within the last 6 months, it's a diptych, clearly. Um, and they say, or I've always been told that eventually you'll find what your style. I tend to put too much, I think, into everything that I do. So I would just love some feedback on how to um, I just love some feedback on
Okay.
that. I often get just the great advice to step away, go in and just do a couple of things, but it just doesn't appear to be. That's not. I don't go there naturally. I think I need to learn to leave spaces alone. But I love the color in this. This is my garden, clearly. So yeah, yeah.
You know, can I start off? Does anyone else want to? I just wanted to say that, you could conceivably go in the opposite direction and just say more is more, and make paintings that are exuberant and just, loaded, bursting. And that would also be legitimate if that was your intent. As long as you were, I'm not saying that it has to be defined as a style or defined as a pursuit, but these paintings, or this painting, I should say, is perfectly valid for me in its own right. And you can, continue to do this until you feel like backing off, as you say, or finding something else. But I don't think that it's necessarily, um, a virtue per se to, uh, you know, to define things in a more conventional way. I think this is a possibility.
Okay.
I
That
You
really
could,
like this painting. I think it's just wow. I just loved it the second I saw it.
right, exactly.
Linda.
Me too.
I think
Why
it's so
not?
happy. Yeah, I think it's a happy painting and I think it's vibrant and has a lot of beauty and I think it's nice. I'm a little confused in the middle section.
I think these are
It's a diptych. Yeah.
Yeah, but
they're
how
two pieces. Are these two pieces of canvas? tacked to
Yes,
the
just
wall?
tacked to the wall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that middle section would be folded on the sides of the canvas if these were stretched.
Yes.
that's
Right.
my only concern. I would hate to lose that connecting bit in the middle. It just seems like, you had the edges of the canvas and you were responding to them as much as you could, and then you got exuberant right there in the middle. And and it connects the two so beautifully. I love the green stripes down the side,
Yeah, I agree.
and
Yeah.
to lose that would just be a little tiny bit heartbreaking. So,
Yes. So what you could do is, you could probably have it done if you didn't want to do it yourself. I don't know how big these are. These are probably what, like 4 feet by 3 feet or even
They
bigger?
are 4 by 3.
Yeah. So you could have both of these, glued just as they are to a single panel or a single stretched canvas to
Okay.
keep the integrity of this whole thing. That would be easy to do.
So I have a little bit the same concerns like Linda. For me, it's the two canvases next to each other. It's not a diptych. I see them just two paintings.
2 paintings.
I don't see why it should be a diptych.
Okay.
I don't see that. I mean, I see, of course, the connection there, but since this is just, I don't know,
if I see them as two paintings, like I'm holding up a piece of paper and just cropping out one of the paintings and also that delicious little middle bit that I like, they do stand alone as two separate paintings. I'm just
Yeah.
greedy. I want
Okay.
all of it.
and of course, it makes me think of of diptychs and the sense of diptychs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think it's very interesting to do diptychs, but it makes me think of what is the purpose of a diptych,
Right.
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 And I think, I mean, that was not now intended to make me think about diptychs. Yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
But it is a
I mean, the paintings are very dense. I like, and it works. It's not. It's still. It's not that painted. But you are close to the edge. Where it gets like the murky
Yeah.
and a little bit dangerous. But
Yeah.
it works. I think it's nice. And but now I'm thinking about diptychs and
But is it
what's the sense of what is the purpose of a diptych?
What is it? What is the
about it?
purpose of a diptych, Hans?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm
a
thinking
diptych,
now what are famous diptychs which come to my mind, and what is
Well,
the
like Max Beckmann.
what is the purpose of it? It's
Beck-
telling a story, probably, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Beckmann, they always relate to kind of a religious format because
Oh,
they began as altarpieces.
Mm.
Okay, so there were, panels with two saints, or with with some, nativity or some religious centerpiece, and then there would be two panels on the side. And so it was a conventional format construction.
But then there were also those modern diptychs where they were simply a bunch of very big paintings run together because somebody didn't
Yeah,
have to do a 42-foot painting.
mhm.
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's many painters have used the convention.
Of course.
I mean, it's just a form of sort of comparison. You look at one and then you consider the other, and there's sort of a back and forth, and it creates some sort of dialogue, between these two
Yeah,
images.
exactly, because you can't really look at both paintings at the same time. You have to look at that painting and then you look at that painting, and or you have to go to very far away to. So
Right.
diptychs are usually very big paintings, and
Okay.
I mean, I like this. I like the connection very much in the middle, and maybe that's maybe you should do triptychs even, or you know what I'm saying, and emphasize somehow the connection to them,
Yeah,
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that would be interesting to add a third one.
it would be very interesting.
But
Yeah,
And
like I
then it
think,
makes more sense to me than here.
yeah.
It would really emphasize that it's about this connection there.
Yeah.
So.
but I think in a way, okay, we've discussed this, this format, but I think more importantly is the question that Sai expressed, that she felt that this was too much, on, too much. And I don't agree with that. I mean, I'm going to go back to what I said initially, but the more I look at this, the more I look at these, I should say, and I do consider these two paintings, the more I think that they're kind of perfect. They're working perfectly,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I think that um that I know you're struggling and working to find some sort of form and some sort of subject that works for you. But I think that just the doing of it is going to reveal what you should, or what you want to be doing. And I think what you want to be doing is this. This
I
is it.
think that's true. I think that's true. I think the subject matter itself, just yeah, I think that that's true. But
And
one of the criticisms I got of these paintings is to stop doing flowers. The quote was, "Anybody can do flowers."
but these
Bullshit.
are but these are not flowers. Come on. They're inspired. Maybe they were inspired by flowers. I
Yes.
mean, I walked out of my house this morning and I looked at this big, plant with what are they called? I don't know, the big pink flowers with a black center, and all the
Mhm.
butterflies are landing on them. And I just went, nature, nature is so psychedelic. It's just so crazily over the top.
Yes.
It was so in my face. And I was just thinking of, psychedelic, painting, and that's what you're doing. You're sort of inspired by the exuberance, of nature. But
Yes.
I don't see literal flowers in any of this.
No, I don't see literal flowers either. But I
Good.
mean, there is a strong feeling of
Yeah, of a garden.
flowerish. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
But
saying?
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, of course, it's sort of it's okay. But you, we could, of course, be freer, more free in a way.
Hmm.
That it's even more possibilities than uh, you know
But you know, like these.
No,
Look at
no, I like that too. It's not bad. It's not
look at
bad.
these. This I love this shorthand. You know, for a flower, a blue flower. Look at this. These. Like those are not flowers. Come on, those are abstract marks.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
this is you know a very fast gestural painting.
Yeah, there are no aqua blue flowers.
No,
Well, I think it's beautiful and I think it is very dense, but I think you solve that. I think they're very satisfying. And I don't know who's telling you that you shouldn't paint flowers.
Yeah, do they have your best interest at heart?
Don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, I also submitted one that is more representational of flowers, but just as an example of showing you all though I considered a challenge of how dense I make everything so dense and populated.
Yes.
Yeah.
But why don't you just maybe do what Hans tells us to do another series and
Yeah.
you like it less dense. Maybe it's what Mark is saying is that, you
This is
know,
me.
maybe it's better dense because
Yeah.
I agree with everybody. I think that it's dense and it's interesting and it's beautiful. So I don't to me, I find this one of your most successful paintings.
Thank you.
I
Can I
think
show you something real quick? I'm going to
Sure.
stop the share. Hold on. And now whoops, I'm going to do another share.
Mm.
share us.
Photo.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, Tracy.
Oh, that's cool.
You know this painter, Linda, right?
Yeah, Tracy Miller. She's great.
Yeah, Tracy Miller.
Yeah, I put her in a show. She's delightful. I mean,
That's
apart from
great.
everything else, she is delightful.
So she always paints, tabletops of food and stuff, right?
Yes.
And there are always these, pinks, and crazy colors
Little
and beer. I love the
flowers.
beer cans, right?
Lovely. Yes.
But she has also this exuberance where it goes from abstraction to, representation, like this big lobster, in the middle of this painting. It's so hilarious. So I wouldn't say she's an expressionist, right? She's just using all of these idioms, but she has this idea about what she's painting, which is very, very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So it falls in between pop, and expression, expressive painting, but it's clearly pop, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
but it's
Depends on
similar in a way,
what
similar
wines
ideas.
boxes.
But I mean, obviously this is more, has more of a conventional composition, even though it's not conventional, especially with all this. Oh, this stuff on the side is not part of the painting, by the
Yeah.
way. The
Oh, it's
painting ends here on the
oh,
blue
okay.
curtain.
But it
Yeah.
has
I
also
like
a
it much better now.
pop feeling, pop art feeling.
Yeah, right.
It's pop
Yeah.
art feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does lobster boils and crab boils and
Yeah.
parties with cakes everywhere. They're really kind of event centered in a lovely way, but they're always abstract. But you can always get a sense of that perfect summer day. They're wonderful paintings. I love them. And I love this one
Yeah.
too.
So I like this just in its craziness. It's just, as I said, exuberant, over the top.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure that you need to. Here's another one.
Mhm. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Does anybody else miss the edges? I think it works either way, but with the cleaned up edges, how do you feel?
Well, I like it.
I can more concentrate and go in there than with the diptych.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the diptych, in a way, they are great paintings. But you know, since I have two, you know, you start to look back and forth to the left and the right, and in a way, so the diptych in a way makes a distance, sort of.
I agree. I think this is more focused, more coherent. This has more coherence.
Why couldn't this be the triptych?
I'm sorry?
I mean, to me, you were talking before about doing a triptych. I mean, to me, this is, if you put the three together.
Oh, this is one of the two after this is one of those two. Separately. Yeah.
Okay.
After I stretched it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you did stretch it. This is actually stretched.
I stretched them both.
Okay.
Did you cut off some of the bottom?
I don't think so. I might have in the photo. No, maybe I did.
Can I see the diptych again? Because
yeah, I did. I cut off some of the bottom.
I have to say, one thing I liked was the way you enter the painting from the bottom.
Yeah.
And
yes.
that's like the walk in the garden to me, like you're stepping into the trail.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're right. Good point. I think you're absolutely correct.
Thank you, Linda.
That's really right.
Yeah.
Yeah, black around on the bottom and on the upper right and left-hand corners is really important.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, I mean, you did this, you know, naturally, but I think it's a great device for future paintings.
Okay.
You know, the way this painting is actually framed by this black line.
Yeah.
Is really nice with all this stuff happening in the center. That really is that works.
I think I might just take them off of the, just take them back off.
Yeah, it shows very well, you know, what you're losing when you stretch them.
Yeah. It was the first time I ever stretched something by myself, which is probably,
wow.
Yeah.
It took me 6 months to finally convince my husband how to stretch a canvas properly. It's not as easy as people think. You have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you follow the rules, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. You know, get a couple of dings on it, you bounce it forward on it, you feel very self-satisfied.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Congratulations on stretching a canvas.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's so correct.
Yeah.
You need that, all that. You need all the surrounding stuff. Definitely.
I think that's one of the problems of painting on a flat piece of canvas. What I've seen in art class, some people put like a line
around it.
Yeah, so that you know where you're gonna stretch.
Yeah.
I think that's a difficulty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, without knowing the diptych, you know, when I see this painting, it works also without the black.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Maybe
it doesn't need it. Maybe it's even better without the black because it's more abstract now.
Right.
And when you have this bottom, which is the ground, you know what I'm saying?
Like
you know, here it becomes even a little more abstract in a way, you know. But you know, I know even painters which they paint representational stuff on not stretched canvases, you know, and then they put the vase and that. At the end, they stretch the thing, and then for me, you know, for them it works, but for me it doesn't work because, you know, the composition is completely different.
Yeah.
Once you have the vase is now half cut off, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's for me. I don't.
Harder. Yeah.
That people do that. You know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
This also reminds me of a very colorful early Jasper Johns.
Oh.
just the way he covered the surface with short, marks, short gestures. I mean, this is way, over the top as, regarding color. I mean, he was super controlled about everything. But the surface and what Hans was just saying about it being an abstract painting and a flat painting reminds me of the way Jasper Johns covered a surface. I don't know if you're how familiar you are with his work.
I'm going to look it up later.
He's an important painter.
You could, you could even sort a little bit de Kooning. You could see de Kooning a little bit.
Colors of de Kooning, I agree.
But yeah, this is very abstract, and the surface is great. I love all this white stuff in the middle, mixing. It's kind of great. I would just say stay on this track.
Okay.
I've seen a more also a little bit frightening stuff in your painting, and here I don't see it.
Okay.
And maybe it's good, maybe not, because sometimes you have also to have a little bit frightening stuff in there.
I do.
That's all. That's a painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is the third piece that Sai has sent.
Nice.
The marks, all of the marks, the black is kind of great. It's wonderful. It's just loose and free and interesting, pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
This one is called Portrait of My Dog.
I think it has a lot of great movement.
Yeah.
You have the foreground and then a midground and then the background. I think you did that really successfully. It has a lot of depth, a lot of push and pull in there.
Yeah, it's a classic abstract action painting in a way.
Yeah.
It works. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the white and black, everything. It works. It's balanced, sort of. It's not. It's not just on top and blah blah. And it's like really nicely woven into everything.
Well, this one had the potential to be as dense as the one we just saw, except my teacher yelled across the room, "Stop!"
Right. Good. Good teacher.
Right. No, it works.
I think, I mean, your teacher is right that the painting works, and I think you have plenty of opportunity to do others where you can go further, because whereas Hans correctly said this is a classic abstract expressionist gesture action painting, I think getting into your own thing, is closer to what's going on in these.
That's true.
That's where you're finding out something. So yeah, he recognized this as a finished painting, and he's right. That it, or she is correct. But yeah. But I think that you're moving somewhere else.
But I mean, when I look, you could also say between those paintings are 100 years, and not 10 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, when I see the other ones, I see the zero, I see the whole impressionism there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you move 100 years forward into, abstract American abstract.
Yeah, but this is not impressionism. Come on.
Huh?
This is not impressionism.
Yeah, but there is a lot. It's not impressionism in that sense, but it's just 100 years backwards, you know. Still, it's nice, but it's just has another feeling.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
does. Yeah.
It has it could be, you know, it's.
I don't know. I think this could be 100 years forward too.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's also good.
Just because it's so, you know, all over the place. It's to me, it looks very contemporary, very modern, and just an explosion. You know, I mean, you know, painting, you know, is going in so many directions now. Like nothing is right and nothing is wrong. You know,
Yes.
I don't
No,
know.
I mean, I agree. You know, I didn't say that before about impressionism. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
once I see that, you know, maybe this is 100 years backwards. You know,
yeah,
but we are not
exactly.
yet 100 years older. That's
No,
but you know. So in that sense, Mark, you are right. You know, it's maybe the other paintings are really the way where you that's your base where you
Yeah, I think this is
wanna
more
work from.
of I get more joy out of doing. I get a
Yes.
lot of joy out of doing these.
Yes.
well, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joy, I mean, you mean when you paint it, or
Yes,
when
while I'm
talk about it?
painting. Yeah.
Because I'm sure you get more also response here from friends, you know, which like the color, they
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying, and so on.
Yeah.
You know,
My
you get
yeah.
you know, and the other one you get
Yeah.
maybe response from I don't know, but not from everybody. You
Yeah.
know, they you know that you know everybody tells you with the abstract expressionism, my child can do that, you know. But
Yeah.
here they don't say that, you know. They say,
Yeah.
you know, they see it's more labored.
Yeah. I have a small fear of drifting into being decorative.
I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thought you have to be careful. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I maybe said. It's where is the scary stuff in there? You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, don't please people too much. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And you were right, Hans. These appealed to a lot of people.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
which is good. It's good, but you
that's
know
a
what
good
I'm saying.
thing because it's successful.
Yeah, but it can also hinder you from the real thing you want or what you need to do. You know.
Yeah.
But of course, if you can sell them and do it, you know what I'm saying. It's like, don't. It's a good thing, you know, when people like something. You know?
Yeah. Good.
Not a bad thing.
So, you know, I would just want to like maybe say one more thing, and everyone can um, join in or add whatever. But like this, you know, when you get into these weird colors that you're mixing with white,
Yeah.
which I think is really, really good and really starts, you know, making the surface interesting. I think, you know, in the future, you can even go further with that and try to organize the painting, not, you know, not overly organized, but you could start thinking about, you know, more composition, as it were, or how the surface moves, where the eye goes, you know, forward and backward, in and out. And you can do that by, you know, painting out some areas with this white, you know, mixing it into the color, leaving other parts, you know, more detail, you know, and more thingy, you know, with these like red dots. Let's say we could call those things, or these turquoise are things. And then there's, you know, more of this, you know, amorphous ground. You can use that as a technique to sort of mold the
Yeah.
space, instead of it being necessarily all, sitting on the surface,
Yeah.
so presently. So, I mean, that could be one way of moving forward. Just become more aware of exactly how you want to shape this painterly space. It's a painterly space that you're creating here, and I think that you're onto something with these, sort of weird white colors, like that light yellow is so beautiful, and it does something, against the, intense brush strokes. Well, maybe you can control that more.
May I
Meaning,
ask what yellow you used?
sorry?
May I ask what yellow?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was 6 months ago. But you know what? That's another thing I need to start doing is when I see something and then I like it, like I love this yellow, I should have written it down, right?
Yeah.
I should have written it down.
A lot of yellows go chalky or dull or gray. If you mix them, they just don't play well with others. And I would have loved it if you could have just told me which yellow to use.
Well, too bad.
Yeah, right. Studio secrets, not for you to know.
I'd tell you if I could, Linda.
What's the name of the Renaissance lead yellow they used to use that was so...
Lead tin yellow in
Is that what
Vermeer.
it was called? Yeah,
Yeah.
lead tin. Is that what it was?
I
There was
think so.
another
And
name for it.
I think it was used in between drying layers of oil so that it didn't mix with others.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of the synthetic ones that later Van Gogh used that oxidized and turned brown so his sunflowers
No,
brownish color?
earlier ones, they were famous for those yellows. And it
Yeah,
was they were lead. I know that, but they had a name for it, something yellow. You
yeah.
don't remember?
It was I thought it was lead tin yellow, but for the longest time they only had Naples yellow, and this new
Yeah.
yellow was such a revelation. But anyway,
Yeah, I forget.
I know. It's on the list of things I forgot.
Okay.
Okay.
I see that the yellow is mixed with white.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
you're just using titanium white, right? You're not trying that gambling
No,
right?
it would have been titanium weight.
Yeah.
mhm.
I don't think that gambling radiant white plays that well with others. It's so cold. But that's another story for the day.
I just Googled this. It said, why are Renaissance paintings yellow? Renaissance and medieval artists used Indian yellow, a pigment obtained when a cow eats only
Mango leaf. Mango
yeah,
leaves.
mango leaves.
And it's made from the
I didn't know.
urine, and it would show up in balls. They would transport it in balls that stank like crazy. Winsor Newton kept it a secret for a longest time, but it was fugitive, I think.
Yeah.
So it might not be the yellow that you're looking for.
I never knew that. That's great.
Yeah, I
That's,
know.
wow. Okay, next. Oh, well, let's go back. I'm sorry. Let's do this and look at, this is by Marie.
Ah, yeah.
Nice, Marie.
Mhm.
How big is this, Marie?
Well, the inside, there are two paintings. I guess it's a diptych too.
Mhm.
The inside painting is 4x5, and the outer painting is 5x6.
Mhm.
So is this a line here? No? I don't see the two.
Can't see where your line is. Oh, so it's just a white canvas, so that I kind of centered it.
I don't see the two panels.
Okay. So you see the three
The three images.
images.
Yeah.
So around that is a white canvas. Those images are done on a white canvas. The
Right.
second canvas that's 5 by 6. I wanted to add some breadth
Oh,
to this also. Is a purple
oh, oh, oh,
Oh, okay.
and
okay.
and I think it really kind of resonates, makes the painting resonate a little bit more and give a little bit.
Okay. Okay. So in other words, this white canvas sitting on top of this
Yes.
other,
Yeah,
so you can see the depth of the canvas sitting on top?
yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
I've been sort of
Nope.
playing around with giving my paintings more breadth too. And I thought that that was sort of an interesting way to bring in a little bit more interest. And I had never done that before.
Right.
yeah,
Um,
it's
but I'm
very
kind of
loose.
playing
Mhm.
around with different canvases, like, you know, like what I've been working.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
Mm.
it's
Okay.
I
It's hard to,
I find it yeah, it's fine.
for me, it's hard to understand in a way. It's hard to experience, put it that way, without seeing and feeling the depth, the physicality of the canvas on another canvas, which is, I think a big part of it. To me, this is flat, with a lavender background. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure how it reads in real life, physically.
it was a little hard to um shoot to take a picture of, because I had to
Yeah,
stand, because the canvases are big. I had to stand up and
right.
this way. But there's a lot of depth on the back panels, between gray and this purple violet.
Well, I like the image a lot, and I like the painting and the way you just sort of left it alone. Just let it.
Yeah, it's a technical study, like this rack and
I think is really quite
the
nice.
yeah, the
I think you
liquid.
use your infamous squeegee.
It's good enough for Gerhard Richter. It's good enough for me.
Is that a signature on the
Yeah, the lower right.
Yeah, it's it's
What does
it's
it say?
Just a signature. I had painted it a little while ago.
Oh, okay. But it's beautiful. I mean, the form.
yeah, but it's not something. How do you say? I mean, it's like it's like tricks. It's the tricks with paint. What you can do with paint. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice piece.
Yeah.
The question is now, are there coming more of those, and with studying more what happened when this and this, when I do that, or do you
Yeah.
understand, or is it just a one piece now, which it seems okay to me? It's like it's not it's
Well,
fine. It's there is nothing to criticize for me, or I can't say, oh, this blue should be a little bit bigger or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just the process. Once you do that with liquid color and the rack, this and this happens. And I mean, there are painters out there which, they show you then what happens if this happens, or if you do it that way or that way, and then and then you get a whole bunch of paintings, which in a way show you the effects of what paint does, you know, or how it behaves once we do that and that, you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, that's fine here, you know. But did you do that by yourself, or was that in another class?
No, I did it in class with Skip.
Okay. You
The-
see, that's what
thing-
I see, you know.
Yeah,
Because that's, you know, it's like a method which they say, now guys, we put some liquid on the thing and then this and this. You know, a strict behavior, how to do something. You understand? And then you get this, you know.
well, you know what, I think is kind of interesting about this painting that I was experimenting with, which is really interesting with the paint, is that I put the paint on and I let it sit for a while so that when I move the paint, the canvas is actually stained, which I think gets to, you know, sort of what you're saying. You know, I'm not using brush strokes, but I'm mark making and learning how to use this particular type of paint. So I get this, I like how it stains the canvas, and then I can move it in different ways with squeegee.
But you see, you know Maurice Lewis, for instance.
No.
Okay, maybe we can look at some Maurice Lewis, which works with liquid color directly off canvas. And once you see those paintings, they are so concentrated, you know, they are great paintings because it's not just a method, you know, which you go like vertical and horizontal movements and something happens, you know. And Mark, can you go to Maurice?
Yeah.
Just you know, because I mean, this painting is nice, Mary. You know, I'm not saying, you understand? I like it, you know. But the point is, what do we want with it?
Yeah.
Is it studying now deeper? You know, you see, that's Maurice Lewis. You know,
Then I do know Maurice Lewis.
They are huge paintings, and I think it's just great and so concentrated.
Yeah.
You know, of course he uses no rack here, you know, which I like actually. You know,
did he pour the paint?
Sorry?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, they're part of a group of artists that actually pour the paint.
Yes, they were poured.
They were poured, which I think is interesting, but I don't think, for me, as interesting as like a Gerhard Richter moving the paint. I mean, it's very similar. I mean, they're similar, but
I don't want to. I only wanted to say, you know, that here it's also conceptual, because you know, you have to know how this thing is flowing and what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm sure he made several tests before he made a big canvas and did something like that, because it looks like very easy, but it's so complicated to do that, and so completely to the point, you know.
Right.
So I could always argue that actually Gerhard Richter is not so a good painter because he's doing too much, you know. Once you go with a rack 100 times over it with different color, you have always a good effect, sort of, you know. But I'm much more, as me personally, more into Maurice Lewis concentrated thing, which is just so simple and great.
Right.
You know, that's my. So I would be so happy I had this thing, you know, this concentration to do something like that. I'm also more a messy guy in a way, you know. I'm a European messy guy, you know, which uses too much color sometimes and has to deal with that, you know. But I'm not saying this is great, but you see, this is typical sometimes for a class where the teacher it tells you a little bit about tricks with paint, you know.
No, the teacher didn't. I've just been experimenting. The teacher didn't do that.
Okay.
I can't blame it on anybody but me.
No,
No.
I don't want to.
I just find it super interesting. I mean, I love to throw paint. I love to.
No, I know, but you know, somebody told you also to stop, maybe because this is not your language usually. You know, this is a completely different painting than what you usually do.
Yeah,
and that's why I was asking where it is.
Yeah.
But
No,
there's
I'm just
nothing bad about it. But well, you know, you see it immediately that that's something else. You know, it's something which is a good thing. But that's why I ask, where is it going now? Do we see more of those things? You know, and
you know what? I think that I will do more like this and maybe extend it to the second. I'm sorry that you can't see the details in that other canvas, because I think the background also adds to, you know, the painting. And it calms it down in a way, like where, you know, blank panels would. But I think that I could do more with this kind of a technique, even come off the panel. And yeah, but good input.
I gotta go OCD on the signature. I didn't think you put signatures on abstract paintings. You put them on the back, unless, like with Matisse, sometimes it anchored the composition. I don't entirely feel like it anchors the composition. I'm looking for it to extend the little stripes in the middle, but it isn't quite doing that for me. And if it's on an extra panel, would the signature go on the extra panel? Or would it just go on the back because it's an abstract painting? I don't know. I got a lot of chiding about signatures over my life. That's where that's coming from.
You know what? I love that conversation because I don't know anything about signatures. I've been hearing people like them on the front or put them on the back, or I don't know. What? So
I think
paintings
I think maybe de Kooning was the last person to sign his name and sort of work it into the composition, and somehow it always worked. Possibly because his name was de Kooning, Koon. You know, it worked. It looked abstract anyway, you know. But yeah, I mean, so for abstract paintings, the signature has pretty much been
on the back.
On the back. It's been removed. I mean, you know, you can bring it back, but you know, you can do what you want. But yeah, it needs to have some sort of as Linda, well, you know, she put it very well. It needs to have a reason to be there in some visual way as part of the composition and doing something for the painting. Otherwise, it looks like a throwback.
That would be good.
But what I like on this painting, especially, Mark, is when you can point to the where you see like lakes, these white lakes or white
Here or
in
here?
the middle. Where it further down where the and then to the right also.
And the far right, that form on the far right.
Right there. You know, can you zoom in there?
Here?
You know, yeah, exactly. You know where this negative space with this technique suddenly does something. You know, here you see it looks like a silhouette, almost white silhouette.
Yeah.
I think, you know, that's something I'm interested. The other things what's happening, it's nice too, you know, because with the rack you have like here the rack thing. It's like a raster. How do you say? Like a
Rorschach. Rorschach.
Yeah, and that's always nice. But here it's particularly beautiful, unexpected things happening for me.
Right.
Which I really think that could be something really interesting to follow, in a way. The other things are nice, but they are not unexpected. They are just once you have a thing and then
Right.
a rack, one stroke, and you get that effect. It's just, and this effect is very well known
Explored.
or explored. Yeah, in
Jack
my
did it
opinion.
first.
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay.
But it's interesting, Mary.
Yeah, yeah.
I will go on, with those things and see what's happening,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to
Oh,
whoa,
yes, what is that?
hold on.
A
Let's
new painting.
Very cool.
let's start there, okay?
Mathieu Cherkit.
Oh, is it Miles McEnery? Okay.
I like that, yeah.
Okay. He's a French painter, Mathieu Cherkit, showcasing a new series of paintings um, on 22nd Street, and it's accompanied by a fully illustrated digital publication. His interiors possess a dreamlike quality. Okay, we don't need to hear about that. We're going to just look.
Yeah.
Look at all that yellow.
Today's
All of it's
yellow.
working.
Today we're focusing on the color yellow. Today
We're yelling about
theme.
yellow.
We're talking about yellow.
Look at the edge of that canvas, man. See how
I
that
love
paint
that.
is squidging out right there on the red?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice right
You
there.
step into this show and you can smell the linseed oil in the air. And it's just like when you're a painter, you're just like huffing it. It smelled so good to walk into that show.
Those stairs are great.
They are.
And the highlights on the edge of these.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like perfect tonal control. Also, I mean, he's saying exactly what he needs to see in the values. Like if you drop everything, all the colors out, values will still hold it all together.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a funny image, paper airplanes and cars flying down the stairs. It's got a lot of verve and happiness in it. All that's great, but oh my God, that yellow and that gorgeous smell and the paint handling, which you can't quite see here, but as you move through it, I mean, the thickness of the paint, as you move through the images, you'll see like just the crazy amount of paint he's put on.
I can see that.
This is a detail, but I just happen to especially love that aqua against that neutral, of course I would, that sort of neutral black, purpley black, and the orange hair with the stripes. I don't think the color's quite as good from my crummy cell phone as it is in this painting.
I think what's interesting about this is the juxtaposition of the material, and he's emphasizing the materiality of paint by going off of the edges, and it's very thick. There's no doubt that it's, oil. And he's juxtaposing that with representation, with this highly, illusionistic representation. It's very, very specific with these chairs, with the tubing, the aluminum, tubing or the steel tubing, and the weave of the seat. So it's these two things happening simultaneously. And even the taping, this is all achieved, I'm guessing, with tape, where you can really layer the paint on, thickly, and then you peel the paint off and you have that incredible edge. So that also emphasizes the materiality of the paint. So I like those two things, pushing against each other, where painting can still be representational and abstract at the same time.
Yeah.
I like that.
And you can just dig certain types of images. Like, I mean, who among us hasn't been just a little bit gobsmacked by the light across a stripy chair like that? Because
Yeah,
they always do it, those little stripy banded chairs. They just look like summer. The light goes across them in just this way. They're just
totally.
such a, I mean, you could say it's easy, but it's crowd pleasing. It's delicious to the eye.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's great.
I agree.
He's going for like the treacle, the honey dripping with the sunlight coming through.
Oh,
That
yes.
worked for me.
I like perspective on this. I think it's a little
Yeah.
like
It's wonky.
yeah, like
It's wonky.
Van Gogh-ish, and
Right.
perspective is makes me feel a little uneasy. Like it's like the room is gonna kind of collapse in, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't get any sense of gloom or doom out of it. It's just kind of
Oh,
when you're just a little drunk and the floor is like crazy and
Well,
and you're feeling
whatever
good. And
works.
maybe you just spun around in a circle with your kid until you both got dizzy and woo, it's just seems a little happy in that way.
Mhm.
But I get things wrong on emotions. I don't read emotional cues as well as I should. Look at the side of
that's
that.
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
What is going on here besides
That's-
the edge, which is crazy? It looks like taffy, like
I
saltwater
know.
taffy.
I don't even remember what the painting was of. I just had to get at least one shot of the edge. I would have
I
done a
like
better
that.
job documenting if I thought I was going to share, but I just, tossed it out there. I've sent you all I have. We could maybe go to that PDF that they said that was digital that was available.
Linda, is this stretch just on the upper and the bottom, and then he leaves the canvas out like that? Or is it actually stretched the whole way around, but you just can't,
Oh,
but
yeah, it's just it's oil on linen. It's
on linen. So it's not on, it's just tacked up?
No,
No,
oh,
it's a
there's
stretch.
paperwork.
You're looking at
It's
the edge.
right.
You're looking at the inch depth of the painting.
Okay.
And that's
Oh,
linen. It's stretched all the way around. And this is
yeah.
just paint that's hanging off the edge.
Oh, how
You
cool
know,
is that?
It's right. Yeah.
what's kind of
Wow, fooled me.
linen is like usually finer than cotton duck. So you don't have the work that you normally would have to obscure the weave. Like if you're trying to do a painting with a glass like, surface,
Right.
you have to really layer and layer the gesso to obscure the weave. This guy has no freaking need to obscure the weave. None at all. And he's painting on linen. It's like, why the expense, bro? I guess it's because he really likes the color of the linen compared to cotton duck. And he wants you to see the edge. So he wants it to be good. So you notice, like, as thick as the paint is, he keeps his edges clean. His edges are nice and clean. I bet he
Absolutely.
uses tape, like you said, Mark.
He probably uses tape and I'm trying to figure out how he gets the paint, to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some trick, some technique.
Well, there are a lot of good ones out there. There's so many new mediums to play with. He could use some sort of um, bodybuilder in the oil that, I mean, Gamblin has loads of new products that they're putting out there. But when you look at the edge, you can see like about 1 inch from the bottom here, like there's a dark blue there. There's some repainting happening. Like you can see like the strata of the colors in here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh look,
Yeah,
there's
you
the
know,
aqua era, It's like
it looks like when you paint your apartment 20 times.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually peel the thing off, and I think that's a little bit the trick, something, like in this thing.
I love the solidity of the sink. Again, he's got that tonal control, right? That
Yeah.
I mean, the careful highlight on the tile next to the grout to give you the definition, that perfect shadow underneath.
Absolutely.
The way it went to purple too. I mean, the colorist sensibility that he's got is pretty delightful.
It almost reminds you, in a way, of the same color sensibility as Wayne Thiebaud,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
where he
Yes.
gets all of those lines absolutely perfectly right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
You know, and the thickness of the paint too, you know, the
yeah.
quality of the paint. But I mean, this is very different. It's his thing,
Yeah.
but it's reminiscent in that sense.
Have you seen Wayne Thiebaud's interiors? Not interiors, I'm sorry, landscapes. They're beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just but these
But these
interiors,
colors, like right here, are gorgeous.
yeah.
yeah. But he plays also a little bit with preciseness and then also a bit naivete. You know, when you look at this towel here with the blue lines, it's like so naive paint.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you know, he creates here a little bit like jokes in a way, and
Right. Yeah, I noticed that on the
it's fine in a way, you know,
yeah, I
when it
noticed
goes,
that as well here on the floor.
yeah, yeah,
How naive that is. Like
yeah,
everything else is
exactly. Naive.
perfect.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
incredibly
right.
technically
It's
amazing. And then look at that.
he wants to uh, he wants to yeah show us
He wants
teach
to
us
show you that he can paint any way that he wants to paint.
right,
Can you
right.
zoom in on that chunk on the left-hand side of the sink? Because that's just fun.
It
Mhm.
is.
The toothbrush.
And
Oops.
the
Can
toothbrush,
can
yeah.
you zoom into the toothbrush?
Whoops, sorry. Uh-oh, where did it go?
But I like Linda, which was only interested in the edges.
In the what?
In the edges, you know, she
I know, I know.
the
I love
focus.
all of it. I just
It's so
it just
funny, the focus. I like the water, how the water comes out.
well, of course you would. A faucet with water. What could possibly have attracted you there?
Yeah, the thickness of the paint is just really what these things, and the color is
Yeah,
really quite
you know,
remarkable.
it's
Yeah.
a pain. It makes you hungry when you look
Yeah,
at
it's like
it.
icing on a cake.
Right?
Like cake, it's cake decoration.
wind tape, Tipo, and you know they make it.
The
Yeah,
colors are wild, are
yeah,
great.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look
I
at
mean,
that view.
these kinds of colors are really kind of amazing. You know, these weird
Yeah, yeah.
colors and the
And that beautiful gradient.
look
I'm a
at that.
sucker for a gradient.
Yeah, I like gradients too.
And there's a beautiful one right there in the front of the sink.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I got obsessed with the edges for the thing that I can't transmit over the Zoom meeting is the smell because the smell
Right,
sucks you in with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
lovely oily paint smell.
of course.
And then you just had to sniff it out. And I sniffed it
Yeah,
out on the edges. I love this purple to yellow here.
yeah. This you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a perfect purple, and then it goes up, it gradients into that. See, now if I tried to mix this, I would end up with a nasty ass, muddy piece of depression right in between the purple and the yellow tile because I couldn't mix that color without making a mess.
Yeah. No, it's amazing.
Oh, he knows what he's doing. That's
Yeah,
great.
he knows what he's doing.
And
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh,
It's really good. Crazy.
for me, it's still a little bit too funny. Everything, you know, like
Yeah, I
which
think it's
which which
perspective.
which I would love it if it would be just really just you know it without the jokes. I would love it even more. But
There's the wonkiness of the shapes.
yeah.
Because he seems to do it in everything that we've seen so far, where you're not quite sure if that thing exists in reality. There's so many things in here that look exactly like reality, and then it's
mhm,
wonky.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he has to prove that he can do it before he like with a faucet that's beautifully painted or whatever, something is perfectly rendered in perspective. And then he does the wonky. He shows you that I can do it if I want to. I don't want to. This is how I want it. Without that, would you just think he was just he's just taking a stab at it? Like bluffing?
I don't think this guy bluffs. I think
I know.
he knows exactly what he's, yeah.
Mhm.
And he's definitely attracted to fixer-upper apartments because everything's got that. I can't wait to go in there and scrape that 5 layers of paint off of something. Yeah.
I like how he comes out of the painting, you know, where he also plays. I think he's, unlike Hans, I like how playful he is. Because I think it's, for me, more interesting. I like how he comes out from the sides. I like how he draws you in, but you know, the foreground is really interesting. I think he's an interesting painter. I think he could paint more traditionally, but I think to me he's like plays with perspective a lot, like
Yeah.
Van Gogh did, and I think that makes him more interesting to me.
I wish, Linda, that you had taken like at least one shot of the painting just straight on.
You can
Because
get
on
that on
top,
the website. I gave you guys the tasty stuff you can't get.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
really good. Thank you.
That's
Oh,
true. But it just, it just throws the whole perspective thing into another, crazy world.
yeah, I think he's good though. Thank you for bringing him.
Yeah.
I think I'll put this in the chat, but I think I found the flip book that they made, the catalog flip book that they made, so you could see it if you want.
Good. Yeah.
Wow. These are huge paintings.
Oh, really? How big?
No, I'm actually looking at him online right now, and some of his paintings are huge, but his subject matter, he really seems to enjoy internal spaces.
Right.
Really good.
I love this line right
Yeah.
there, going that way, in that direction.
Yeah, because everything
so-
else is so skewed wrong to the left. He's got to get your eye to stop and turn around and go back the other way.
Yeah,
Just
it's
stop.
really funny, that line.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's so abstract and wonky, you know. It's funny, really
It
funny.
it functions really well in this
Yeah,
composition.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then he adds the wonky humor too. It's like, well, I don't just need a line. I need a laughing line. I need something silly.
And
And
it's funny because this is presumably a towel or something, but look at the edge.
no, like somebody ironed it before they hung it on there.
Who knows,
It was an afterthought, maybe.
It's what?
It could have been an afterthought. He could no, because then you'd see like a
I bet
chunk.
it was.
It could
It
have
looked like it
been.
was an afterthought
He's
that he
like,
just needed to add that versus, and it works. It throws the whole thing a little off, which is fun.
Huh.
Yeah. It's
Good.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The a non-disturbing surrealism.
let's see, 84 by 65 with some of them,
Wow.
but he also works quite small.
That's amazing.
It's one of the interiors. This one stairs with a mandolin.
Which one?
We don't have a picture of it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Matthew.
Yeah, Wayne Thiebaud, with his cupcakes and, and the analogy of paint with icing, and donuts and all that kind of stuff. He's sort of hit it on the, right on the, hit it on the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
That analogy of paint and food,
Mhm.
something to eat.
Mhm.
And it's in you. I was teaching a baby, literally high chair baby, how to paint at this job that I had. And they had just had Easter and they had eaten Easter eggs. And then he and I went to paint and he got a kind of a fat, soft paintbrush. He put loads of white in it. He held it up. Thank God it was just child safe tempera. And then he just forgot. He had eaten eggs. He saw this white paint and he just went, and we panicked and we ran and we were trying to use the sprayer, holding him up sideways and spraying in his mouth. I'm like, that's why I tell you, it's not a mouth toy, not a mouth toy. But the urge to put paint in your mouth happens all the time. And I saw my husband and another guy standing in front of that wall of powdered pigments at Pearl Paint. And they were talking about which colors would taste good together. That one would taste really good with that one. It's so in our bodies
Yeah,
to think about paint that way.
it is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And here
Yeah.
I use that. I paint thin and I paint it glossy and
You
feel like
can
I'm wasting a possibility.
so put some thick paint in there. Who
I know.
cares? Try it.
I got
I mean,
20
whatever,
years of
whatever.
painting in me. I'm gonna do it one day for sure.
Mhm.
Thought that was very interesting.
So if you want to go for 15 more minutes, I can share this
I don't
place.
know.
My,
15,
huh?
15 more minutes.
Yes,
15.
15.
Mhm.
You want to see the Magazzino thing?
Yes.
Let me just get it up. Hold on.
I
One
saw
sec.
they had a lot of textiles in there as well.
Magazzino?
I'm just looking, I looked online when you said it earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, they
Let me just hold on.
very large complex.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, so this is the gallery. This is the first gallery.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is a huge, I can't remember, 1.5 ton stone hanging on a cable over
Really
your
stone. Oh,
That's
that,
crazy.
yeah.
The marble.
I can't remember the artist's name, Fabro or something. I forget. You can see, I mean, there was about 10 artists.
Mhm.
For me, the most interesting of which was Alighiero y Boete. Remember him, Hans?
Yes.
Alighiero e Boetti.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. I
Mhm.
mean, I think he was kind of brilliant. He was and did a lot of interesting things. This is his piece here, which I have actually a picture of. I took a picture. I didn't take too many pictures while I was there. Let me see if I can get that. Hold on a second. Let me see. Uh, let's
Mhm.
let's see. Hold on.
We are holding.
Yeah, good, excellent. Oh, okay. So, like, I'm gonna. So, just for example, let's see. I'm gonna go. Oh, oh, I see. Okay. Let me just do this. So this is the same piece.
Oh, okay.
So what's interesting is the system. Like he was really into systems, and then with this kind of playing with, visualizing and letting these sort of arbitrary things happen. in systems.
Mhm.
So basically, he was in this, he's talking about, like, I think in each one of these things, there's 1,000 squares that are um, colored in different ways, and creating, yeah. So I different, by, let's see, and creating. Oh, and actually, I think he actually assigned other people to just follow basic instructions. And so these became just totally arbitrary and out of his control. So basically, he just designed the parameters and had other people execute them. And he did that a lot with different things. Let's see, I'm going back to this. Hold on here. So anyway, these pieces here are, I think, what was his name? Uh, these here on this and this are actually mirrors what's his name? Was Michelangelo Pistoletto?
That could be, yeah.
Yeah. With silk screened photo silk screens on the surface of mirrors.
Whoa.
Uh, this is into another room in the center. Anyway, we'll keep going. That's nothing. So here we are again.
Mm. Oh.
This is Marisa Mertz, who,
Yeah.
was a lot of, it's very from the era, and I don't think it's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy that does rips the canvases, Mark?
No, you're thinking of Fontana.
Yeah.
He did not
That's
have any pieces in this show. I don't think he was necessarily connected with that group. I think he was slightly before it, came before.
Right.
But these are not rips. That's painted. This is Yanis Kunelis. His pieces, they're huge, big, heavy things.
Right.
Like made out of steel.
He's from Greece, no?
Yeah. Yes. This is Mario Mertz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Who was
conceptual.
It's a great venue. It's just unbelievable and beautiful and big and slick. And you can really, experience this work. I mean, it's a small period. It was like, 10 years or something, if that. And I think it was marketed, in the same way that, you know, various generations have been promoted and marketed. And that has its downside. You know what I mean? Because I'm not, I don't think all the work holds up. It's just of a certain period, if you know what I mean.
What is the period?
This was the 60s, like I think 68, 69, 70, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Let me see if it here. It says their work came at a defining moment in the 60s as Italy was transitioning into an era of burgeoning industrialization, student rebellion, blah, blah, blah.
When did large scale installations emerge?
It's 60s.
60s.
Yeah. I mean, a lot happened in the 60s. I mean, there's so much, pop art, minimalism,
Mm.
installation, performance, all those things sort of came to a head in the 60s. And they were all happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Kusama.
I think that's an artist named Zorio, Zorio.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Times just had a bit on Kusama, who I had not heard of before.
Right.
Yayoi Kusama.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that a 60s?
Yes,
Okay.
but she's still alive, and
She is still alive. Yeah.
and she's bigger than she's ever was because
Mm-hmm.
she was she's part of the Gagosian stable
Mm-hmm.
and produces. She can do whatever she wants to do, so she produces monumental, gigantic sculptures,
Mm-hmm.
which every city has to have, in their public square. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's an interesting artist for sure, and she did some pretty neat paintings, I think, back in the day. But yeah, she was good, but was part of the whole '60s Fluxus movement, I think. Like with Yoko Ono doing performances and stuff like that.
Excuse me.
Hmm.
So I don't know, it's an interesting venue, I think, and this work is. I mean, I don't want to, I don't need to opine about it. It is what it is. It's worth seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, why was it called poor art?
Because it was
Yes.
considered like the people's art, okay? Like anyone could be an artist. It was sort of following in the Joseph Beuys, you know, tradition. Um, the German artist who wanted to break down the uh, you know the hierarchical art world and just bring it down. So I think they were following in that way. It was, just a young movement with people, you know, in a way, liberating themselves from earlier art, even though it owes a huge debt to stuff that has come before it. Um, you know, I don't know, but
Interesting.
that's what they called it. In the U.S., it was called Fluxus, Fluxus.
Yeah.
I think the material played a role, not just poesy. It's like they use poor material also.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
you know, I think that was also one of the
Yeah,
main
I think
ideas.
you're right, because I've seen pieces where they just use like sweaters or they use shoes, and
Right. Yeah.
it was, I think you're right.
Mhm.
Yeah, but this is like marble. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. And the Michelangelo Pistoletto were mirrors. I mean, with silkscreen, to me, that just falls into the, Warhol,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
Mm.
thing. I don't know. I think it had, maybe it started out in that way, but I think it sort of, I don't know if it was, you know, kind of became a victim of its own, marketing and promotion. I'm not sure how consistent it was in the end. I mean, they're just paintings with stuff on them. Um, I
Mm.
don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know it started out that way with that idea, with that belief, that philosophy.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. And how does the when you look like? Is there a is there an outside picture also?
Yeah, outside there are
Yeah.
pieces.
How
Yeah,
does it look like?
there's very large grounds,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's really beautiful. And they have like wait, let me see if I can find it. Uh no, that's not it.
And Cold Spring.
Here.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice.
They have donkeys
Oh,
on the
nice.
grounds that
Yeah,
make
you
a
see,
lot of noise.
poor.
That's
They
beautiful.
don't have horses, they have donkeys.
They have donkeys.
You see, that's
There's
that's the horse of the poor people.
and the grounds are kind of gorgeous. I mean, it looks like Tuscany. They're
Oh.
so beautiful. Very large. It must be, I don't know how many acres, but it's quite big, and it's very cultivated or very manicured. It's perfect. It's like Italy. And they have these donkeys. They have a cafe that's pretty good, and like Italian, simple. And they have two buildings of galleries. What you just saw was the permanent collection, and then they have a temporary gallery with that I wasn't that crazy about, at least the artist in it. But these are the donkeys, which is a lot of fun. They have this sculpture,
They look very happy. So,
They have this sculpture in the middle of the donkey thing. It's a crazy place.
yeah.
It's just so aesthetic, as Italians would, high level Italian,
Mhm.
design would have it. It's
Are
pretty.
the donkeys considered performance art?
Right? Maybe. Why not? Yeah, I guess. So anyway,
Thanks for
Okay, great. Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty interesting place, and it's not that far. So if you ever get a chance, it's worth it. It's really worth going. It's fun.
Yes, on that note.
Yes, I'm gonna go paint.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. I very
Thank
much
you.
great.
appreciate the time
Thank
I
you
get to
very
spend
much.
with you.
See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks. I'm thanking our audience for joining us. Thank you. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Wait. Do you
Let me
guys?
let me end the
I'm sorry. I thought you did.
oh, why is oh, hold on.